What's up, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, whatever day of the week it is, nerds? It's your boy, the OGGM, coming to you live on, I guess it's Wednesday. It's Ash Wednesday, I think. Coming to you live here on a small island off the coast of Costa Rica, known affectionately as Site B, where it's sunny and breezy today at 9 o'clock in the morning on the 22nd day of February 2023, Ash Wednesday. What are you giving up for Lent? It's time to take a look at all the tabletop role-playing game crowdfunding Kickstarters that are coming to an end. All these should be reaching the end by this week or maybe next. Nothing really stands out to me. A lot of weird small press stuff, which is always cool to see. But don't worry, you still have time to support these. If there's any of these that jump out to you, head on over to your favorite Kickstarter, crowdfunding, Zine Quest, Zemo, Itch.io, group funding, Backlit, or super site to crowdfund these, because I think we've got 10 crowdfunding sites now who are all trying to compete with Kickstarter, especially after the whole Kickstarter / OGL / Wizards of the Coast nonsense that came to light during January. So yeah, you have choices now, which is good, except unless you're trying to find lists like me, then it just means more work for me, because originally I just had 2 lists to go off of. Now I've got 8. Blah, you don't care. Moving on, from Rivethead Games, we have Farewell to Arms Redo, a World War Morkborg hack. This is a hack for Tabletop Role-Playing Game of the Year. Morkborg, it's $120 is the most popular pledge that gets you PDF and print of the core books, the 4 faction books, a cool collector's box, and more, featuring the universally unique art that is Morkborg and the universally unique death metal style that is Morkborg. This is a shell shock blackened warpunk RPG using Warpunk. There's no such thing. Stop it. Dear God, it's 2023. Punk was the early 80s. Let it go. Stop using our word. From Ali Ribelli Edizione. Is that Italian? ALI. Second word. RIBELLI. Third word. EDIZIONI. I'm assuming Edizione means addition. Ali Ribelli is, I believe, the individual's name. He reached out to me to support his game during the OGL 5e nonsense, and I was like, you know what, dude, I really don't do reviews, and whenever I do, people don't like my reviews, so yeah, are you going to send me a free copy? So this is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition source book. $49 is the most popular pledge. For that, you get PDFs of the 3 books, 2 adventures, STLs, which I think is art and more. It's a vampire-covered world of werewolves and darkness and hordes of undead, where the player characters have to rise up against the darkness and try and bring back what little light. So if this sounds familiar as a setting, well, because it sounds a lot like Midnight and other settings where the bad guys won. From Coven Games, we have Out of the Maw, the Elderith companion for D&D 5e. This is a source book for Dungeons & Dragons, the 5th edition. It's $10 gets you the PDF. It's 150 pages of monsters, warlock subclasses, spells, magic items, and more to bring more cosmic horror, yet not cosmic horror, to your 5e game. It's cosmic horror, but it's 5e, so it's safe cosmic horror that really isn't that frightening. It's Saturday morning cartoon cosmic horror. Oh, Cthulhu, you're up to your little hijinks again. And I would have gotten away with it too. From Wet Ink Games, we have Psychic Kids for the +1 system. This is a core rule book. $50 is the most popular pledge, gets you the PDF and the physical version of the book and some cards as well as dice. It's the 1990s. You are a ward of the facility, which is an organization that is unlocking psychic powers in kids. Then you break out and do stuff. It's a kids on bike subgenre, similar to Firestarters, Stranger Things, The Runaways, The New Mutants, that whole, kids being experimented on. Push fits in that genre. It's a D6 dice pool and card system. And it uses the +1 system, which I guess is a new D6 system. From Greg Brignolia, Brignola, we have Mazes and Minion, a Mazes supplement for Zine Quest, powered by Polymorph. So this is a $10. It gets you the PDF and print version of the zine. It's powered by Polymorph. Polymorph is a thing we've talked about before. It's not using Ben from Questing Games Maze Rat system. It's using a system called Mazes, or powered by the Polymorph. And this seems to be just an adventure about, going and stealing treasure from monsters kind of thing. From Kids Arcanum, we have Crafty Quest Book 2, Prophecy of the Elder Tooth. This is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition product. It's $40 for the box set. And it's a thing that teaches your young players about fantasy role-playing with crafting options, something to engage your minds as well as your hands. So it's a coloring book, politically correct dragon, about coloring and then also adventuring. So the coloring might sell, the adventuring maybe not. $40 seems a lot of money for a coloring book. From Bodie H, we have Decagon for Mothership. $25 is the most popular pledge. Gets you the PDF and the print version of the book, plus some other books and some art and a poster. It's a Mothership adventure featuring a time loop, where the characters have a decreasingly amount of time to solve the time loop, and horrible stuff happens to them, and then they get reset, but they also are dealing with the emotional PTS of the time loop, which means they're less and less likely to solve it after each go around. Similar to the Doctor Who episode where the time loop got shorter and they had to deal with this. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, time loop. Groundhog Day in space using Mothership, but like more deadly. Always fun. From One Sick Puppy, we have Dim Day Red for Powered by the Apocalypse. $8 for the PDF version of the book, plus a playbook and maps. The Earth has been consumed by the sun. You are living in the planet's last day. The world is highly colonized dystopian future where those with power take everything to enjoy the last luxuries before the Earth is destroyed. So post-apocalypse with a countdown. You've only got a few days left before the Earth is destroyed. Make the most of it. If this sounds familiar, it sounds a lot like Mark Borg using Powered by the Apocalypse. This could be fun. From Team Rex Games, we have Vault, an original system. $85 is the most popular pledge. Gets you the print box set. Or get to design your own character that they will print for it. You get a session with the creators, playtesting and more. So this is Vault. It is sort of a Shadowrun oversimplification. You play cyberpunks working for corporations, fighting mystic wars and raiding for corporate greed. So yeah, it's cyberpunk fantasy, i.e. it's Shadowrun. So this guy has been repeatedly trying to do Shadowrun. He did Sinless and Subversion, which we also know were attempts to sort of recapture Shadowrun using a different system. So now he's doing Vault, which also sounds like a take on Shadowrun. Or you could just go out and play Shadowrun, which is in its, 8th edition? From Sirly Whirly, SIRLYWHRLY, for Mouse Sitter, we have Feathertail Falls. Mouse Sitter, Mouse Guard, Redwall. It's a game about where you play mice who are on adventures. It's $27 is the most popular pledge for the PDF and the print version, plus a pamphlet and some adventures. This was expired by, of course, Over the Garden Wall, Hilda, Studio Ghibli's Aridity. You have a world of small creatures on missions to protect their homes. It's a fuel campaign using the Mouse Sitter system. So you like the idea of Secrets of Nim, you're probably going to like this. From Mechanical Muse, we have Cool Name RPG, a community-owned fantasy role-playing system. This is an original system, $25, gets you the PDF of the basic and advanced rules. It seeds to create a fantasy RPG engine that is irrevocable. And it's got people involved with it that I've never heard of. Oh, except for Stephen Long, I've heard of him. And Robin D. Law, I've heard of him. So it's somebody else trying to do an ORC/Project Black Flag / whatever Matt Colville did / Cepheus engine. It's one of the many things that came out of the OGL Manic Panic of last month. People are tossing their hat into the ring to make a fantasy system that once it's out there, it can't be changed. 5e is now community core, so supposedly it can't be changed. Are people gonna stick to their guns and jump ship and start using ORC when and if we ever actually see it? Are people gonna stick to their guns and jump ship and start using Project Black Flag, even though as of now it looks exactly like 5e? Is this going to be the number one contender? I don't know. I mean, if Orc doesn't do something soon, the fire is going to burn out and people are just going to, sink back to just resigned discomfort with the situation. They're going to go, look, I was going to support you a year ago, Peso, for Orc, but now the time's passed and I really don't care anymore. 5e is still there. Wizards of the Coast is doing what they're doing. Nothing really exciting. Meanwhile, there's amazing games out there that are coming out that are doing your job better than you, like Call of Cthulhu. So I don't know. And that seems to be it for all the tabletop role-playing game physical things that are coming out this week. Oh, look, Wizards of the Coast is going to address Dark Sun finally. Also, Keys to the Golden Vault is out. I mean, I know there's some people out there who've been saying they've already had it for almost a month. But no, it is out now, officially, physically out in the few stores that were able to get it, which means mostly Target and Walmart and Amazon. So if you are interested in a family-friendly D&D series of adventures about committing crimes that don't actually harm anyone or break any laws or do anything bad, this is out. And so far, the reviews have been, it exists. I haven't heard anything amazing about it. I haven't heard anything horrible about it. Daniel Kwan hasn't come forward and said this is, racist yet, or where's the inclusion, or crime is bad. So I guess that's a win for Wizards of the Coast if people don't say anything about it other than it exists. Compared to the reviews they were getting a year ago, I guess they could take that as a win. Nobody's saying anything bad about our product. Nobody's saying anything about your product. Yeah, but they're not saying anything bad. They're not saying anything. Yeah, but that's not bad or good. Get it? Nah, yeah. That's it. If any of these sound like a product you want to pick up, head on over to your favorite crowdfunding, Kickstarter, Backlight, group funding, Itch.io, Zine Quest. I forgot what's the other one. Zemo, Kickstarter site, and pick it up and tell them the OGGM sent you. At which point they will say, hey, have you liked, shared, and subscribed to the OGGM Adventures yet? If you haven't, you probably should, because that guy's pretty awesome. And if you help him hit 1,500 subs by April 1st, he'll probably do something ridiculous. But the best way to support the OGGM Adventures is to head on over to his sponsor, Big Geek Emporium, and pick up the amazing OGGM merch if you haven't yet. 7 amazing things, all for $2 each. Sure, you could spend 30 or 40 bucks on a book for undead. Sure, you could spend 50, 60 bucks on a book for about slime. But I did it first, and mine are only $2 each. So yeah. What have you done? Have you subscribed? If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Till then, get off my land.